Oh boy. Hello everybody. Thank you for starting your week with us here on First Take. It was a fantastic sports weekend. So much to get into here with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karam. Gentlemen,
just real quick, I got to say, way to go, Tom.
Yeah.
I just got to say it. How are you?
What's going on?
There you go.
Hello, Molly.
Hello. Ready to work? We got to react to that play. So the Patriots still have the Colts number. Someone's fired up about it, but it was a close 7-point game. But all everyone is talking about is that fake punt. Skip, will that play cost Chuck Pagano his job?
Molly, Stephen A. Smith, I believe that play cost the Indianapolis Colts whatever chance they had of winning that football game. And I think ultimately it will cost Chuck Pagano his job. Unless maybe the team that you picked to get to the Super Bowl does get to the Super Bowl, and I'm sorry, at this point, at 3-3, I do not see that happening. That was the dumbest trick play I have ever witnessed, and I've watched a whole lot of football in my time. And here's the irony of last night, Mr. Smith. The Patriots did not embarrass the Colts, as so many people thought they would. The Colts embarrassed themselves. The Colts embarrassed the Colts. And I can promise you that an extremely proud and thin-skinned owner, Jim Irsay, somewhere as we speak, he is still furious about the dumbest trick play I believe he has ever seen. So think about this. The Colts are trailing only 27-21, only down 6. By the way, I said it was going to be a 6-point game, and it was only a 7-point game. Thanks to a missed extra point because, well, you know what happened.
And I said it was going to be 14.
You did.
Up 34-21.
They got a late touchdown, but they covered.
Do you both want a cookie?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go.
Well,
I think I deserve a cookie for that one because nobody thought that it was going to be that close. But Colts are trailing only 27-21. Late third quarter. It's 4th and 3 at their 37. They possessed the best punter in the National Football League in Pat McAfee, who was kicking rockets back to the Patriots' 10-yard line all night. He would have kicked another rocket, and Edelman would have had to have fair caught it, or maybe Amendola at the 10-yard line. Patriots would have had to go 90 yards to put the game away, quote unquote, and instead they got to go 35 yards to put the game away. And here's my point, Stephen A. I do admire Chuck Pagano for going for broke again and again against a team that had humiliated the Indianapolis Colts the last 4 times by an average score of 48-17. So Pagano went for broke on the early 4th and 1 from the 5, touchdown, 7-0 Colts. Way to go, Chuck. Then he went for broke right after the pick 6 that shouldn't have been a pick 6, but that's a whole nother issue. But the pick 6 that the Colts ran back to the end zone on the quote-unquote interception by Tom Brady, he goes for an onside kick immediately after that. You know what? I got no problem with that. You are going for broke. And I must say, I think my Pats might have gotten a little bit of break there because I'm not sure who under that pile recovered that football. But finally, they went for broke on the fake punt or whatever you want to call it with a broke play. That's what it was. It was a broke play because it wasn't clever. It wasn't inventive. It wasn't Les Miles on Saturday night running another fake field goal that beat Florida with the holder flipping it to the kicker who runs it in 16 yards for a touchdown. That's pretty clever. You know, they had obviously practiced the heck out of that play. It looked like the Colts hadn't even practiced this play. Like they drew it up in the dirt on the sideline and just ran in and tried to pull something off. So help me out here. You have a backup wide receiver as the snapper, and you have a backup safety as the quote-unquote quarterback under center taking the snap, and you can't line up on the flank even to get enough men on the line of scrimmage to make it a legal play. And then, obviously, Griff Whalen, the little backup wide receiver who did catch the last touchdown pass, he doesn't know what to do. So he's looking around like, should I, am I supposed to? And he snapped it. And there are like 5 Patriots who just swarm it for a 1-yard loss. And all of a sudden it's going the other way. And it took the heart out of the Colts, I thought, defense, because they looked shell-shocked on their heels. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. 6 plays later, Brady, sweet little throw to LeGarrette Blount for his first touchdown catch of his career. Boom, and the game is starting to feel lopsided at that point. So, again, the Colts humiliated the Colts, and I think they ultimately beat themselves.
Well, I'd love to disagree with you. I'd love to sit here and accuse you of engaging and get hyperbole, once again getting all emotional because it involved Tom Brady. But the fact of the matter is you're absolutely right with what you're saying. There's not a point that you've missed as far as I'm concerned. I definitely think Pagano is in trouble, and I think it's because of situations like this. This had to be the dumbest call, you know, in terms of a trick play that I've seen.
I thought maybe you'd bring me some insight, like I'd missed something here. You see any?
No, I don't see anything that you.
Any goal?
I would say there are things that you haven't elaborated on, which is why I'm here to do that. But your ultimate point is valid, okay? But here's where I would correct you. I don't think the Colts lost this game. I think Pagano lost this game by allowing that to take place. And I think ultimately you have to find yourself engaging in some level of inquiry as to why that is. Whether it's Darrell Bevell and Pete Carroll in the Super Bowl trying to do something they should not have done against Bill Belichick, or in this particular situation, I love Michael Silva's column on NFL.com. The lead said, "What the chuck?" What the chuck? I mean, that was a fabulous lead. There's no question about it, because that's exactly what you're thinking. What in God's name would possess you to design such a play and ultimately execute it? Now, obviously, they're saying that it wasn't supposed to be a snap. The players had told him and others privately after the game, there was not supposed to be a snap. You're hoping to draw the New England Patriots offsides, okay, or something along those lines. It didn't happen. Griff Whalen ultimately snapped it. Cole Anderson got the ball like, what the hell? I'm not supposed to have this ball. What is going on here? And so ultimately,
what's the goal of the play? What are you trying to do?
You're trying to draw them off sides,
I don't think so. First they said they were going to make them switch personnel.
What the players were saying is that there was never supposed to be a snap. Okay? So if there was never supposed to be a snap, so be it. The point is, you're only down 6. Why try anything?
Why get cute against the Patriots?
Why get cute? You can't afford to make these kind of mistakes. As far as I'm concerned, it spoke to and reeked of desperation. Okay, we've got them on their heels. We're competing with them. We need to go for it.
Here's the only thing that could have worked on that play. That what I thought was about to happen is, I thought the Patriots were outflanked on the flank. I didn't think they had enough defenders for enough offensive personnel. So if you're going to ask your quarterback, quote unquote, to stand up and throw it to the flank, I got no problem with it. But it's the backup safety. What are you doing? If it's the backup quarterback,
again,
maybe.
You're talking formation. I'm talking personnel. Like, for example, just like you just said, it's the backup safety. If it's your quarterback that's in that position, okay, you're trying something new. But to sit up there and have a backup safety in that position, it just reeked of desperation.
Could he throw it to the flank?
And again, listen. Let's give credit where credit is due. There is something about going up against Bill Belichick's teams that forces teams to do things that are relatively unconventional, where you feel the need to take chances, where you know, one of the teams that had some level of success against them throughout the years is Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens. Why is that? Because what happens is that there is no trickery. The John Harbaughs of the world, or Ray Lewis's of the world, it's like smash mouth football. It's Ray Lewis. It's Suggs. It's you know, just the list goes on and on. You just look at these guys, you know, Ed Reed and these boys, and you just said to yourself, all right, let's line up and go. And so that's how you beat the Patriots. When Michael Strahan and the boys beat them in the Super Bowl, they made Tom Brady dance in the pocket, tap dance in the pocket. They put some pressure on the quarterback. They played smash mouth football. Rarely do you see a team willing to engage in trickery that get the better of New England. They're too disciplined. They're too smart. They're too savvy. Their football IQs are off the chart. They know what they're doing. And so you're not going to beat them playing mind games. You're going to beat them playing smash mouth football. Clearly, Chuck Pagano deviated from that. And to get back to your original point, look, this is a guy that's been in the divisional playoffs, even though Bruce Arians pretty much got it done there, the wild card the first year. The divisional playoff the second year was him. The AFC Championship game last year was him. So you look at it and you see the level of elevation that has taken place under his stewardship, and one would surmise, okay, this is a bad mistake. It's just a game. You can move forward. The problem is, it's one of those situations, and certainly it's not completely comparable, Skip, to the days of Jim Mora and those boys, but it's one of those situations where you look at the personnel that you have and you find yourself asking, even in the midst of winning games, but the void of beating the team when it matters most, you do find yourself sitting back wondering, is this the guy that can take us over the hump? He can lead us to victory in regular season games. He could lead us to a winning record and to playoff berths. But is this the guy that can take us to the next level? Unfortunately for Chuck Pagano, most coaches don't find themselves in a situation where they're being asked that question. It's simply about wins and losses, a la Marvin Lewis. Taking the Cincinnati Bengals to the playoffs every year, but losing in the playoffs. But in Chuck Pagano's case, with a young Andrew Luck, with an owner like Irsay that they have, I do believe that Chuck Pagano is in the precarious situation of them finding themselves asking, are you that guy?
I agree.
That's going to take us over the hump, which obviously buffers your point.
Especially their special teams coach. It was not their night. That Jamie Collins, when he heard,
and
wasn't that sick?
he's a good special teams coach. He's a good special teams coach, but it wasn't a good night last night.
I don't know. When the Jamie Collins
I didn't think it was so
hurdle.
sick. It cost me my prediction of 6 points, but that's okay. Next question.
It's always about you.
Yeah, I know.